The road changed its sound before it changed its shape. My headlights dimmed as if the dark ahead was drinking the light. I felt certain that if I stopped moving, something would finish deciding what I was. I was driving home from a late shift, the kind where exhaustion hums behind the eyes. The highway cut through a forest with no exits for miles. Trees stood close and tall, their branches forming a ceiling that swallowed the stars. The radio played softly until the signal thinned into static and went silent. The silence felt heavy, too heavy. A mile marker passed that I had never seen before. The numbers were carved deep and dark, like they had been burned in. The air smelled damp, like rain that never fell. My hands tightened on the wheel. That was when I saw the man walking in the road. He moved slowly, his back toward me, head bowed. No reflective vest, no flashlight, just a thin shape in dark clothes. I flashed my lights. He did not react. As I got closer, he stopped. He turned his head just enough for me to see his face in profile. There were no features, just smooth, pale skin where eyes and a mouth should have been. I swerved and passed him. My heart slammed so hard it hurt. In the rearview mirror, the road was empty. No man, no movement, only trees. I laughed once, sharp and loud, trying to break the fear. The sound stayed in the car like it didn't know how to leave. The radio clicked on again. A voice spoke through the static, calm, familiar. Slow down. It was my voice. I reached to shut it off, but the knob spun freely. The voice continued, steady and close. You missed the turn. I drove faster. The road narrowed. The lines faded. The forest pressed closer until branches scraped the sides of the car. The headlights caught another figure ahead, standing at the edge of the pavement. This one was a woman. Long hair, white dress, stained dark at the hem. She raised her arm and pointed into the trees. I didn't slow down. As I passed her, she lifted her head. Her eyes were open too wide. Her mouth stretched into a smile that showed too many teeth. The trees screamed. It wasn't sound through the air. It was pressure, vibration. My vision blurred. The road buckled like soft ground. The woman folded backward into the forest, pulled by invisible hands. I screamed and kept driving. High fuel gauge dropped fast. The dashboard lights flickered. High, the smell of hot metal filled the car. Ahead, red lights glowed. Car sat stopped in the lane. No hazard lights. No movement. I braked hard and stopped inches behind it. The night swallowed the engine noise. I stepped out, legs shaking. Its car was old, paint dull, windows fogged from the inside. I wiped the glass and looked in. The seats were empty. The steering wheel was gone. The interior stretched deep, longer than the car should allow, filled with a slow-moving darkness. The trunk popped open by itself. I ran back to my car and locked the doors. The other car began to sink into the road like it was being pulled under thick mud. The asphalt rippled and smoothed over until nothing remained. My engine wouldn't start. The radio turned on by itself. The voice returned. No static now. You are almost there. The road ahead rose into a hill that hadn't been there before. At the top, lights burned low and steady. Shapes stood around them. Cars, trucks, bent metal, piled like offerings. Figures moved among them. Some walked, some crawled. Some were fused to the vehicles they stood beside. Their heads turned as one when my headlights flickered back to life. I don't remember starting the engine. Its car rolled forward, pulled more than driven. As I climbed the hill, I recognized faces among the figures. The man with no features, the woman in white. Others I hadn't seen but somehow knew. At the crest stood a sign made of broken road markers. The words were carved deep. Its final route. A tall figure stepped forward. Its body was thin and stretched, like it had been pulled too far. Its face shifted, trying on shapes. You drive through us every night, it said inside my head. You never stop. Tonight, the road stops you. The ground split open. Below lay a highway that spiraled downward into darkness. Cars were frozen along it, headlights still on. Inside each one sat a driver staring forward, mouth open, hands locked on the wheel. I felt my door unlock. I slammed the accelerator. The car surged. Filming tore loose behind my eyes. The tall figure screamed without sound as I blasted past the sign. Light exploded. Air rushed. The road flattened. I was back on the highway near my town. Streetlights glowed warm. The radio played music. Dawn colored the sky. I pulled over and cried until my chest hurt. I never drove that road at night again. Years passed. But last week, driving home before sunset, the radio cut to static. For one breath, the air smelled damp and cold. In my mirror, far behind, a figure stepped onto the road and began to walk toward me. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more tales from the dark. Thanks for watching.